Hello. Good evening. Good evening. This is Kenya Rockman, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. I hope you are doing well this Saturday evening. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I'm sure you would ask back. So I know it's late. Well, not really late, but late for me to come on. But if you are on here usually, or if you come on my videos, I'm trying to figure out, what's the right time for me to come on. So I figured, Saturday night I'm home and I was just going to come on and see, who was going to join me, just kind of experimenting, fooling around. So um, that's why I'm on here. And instead of doing this video tomorrow, like I had planned on, I said, well, let me try to do it today and let's see what's going on. So Tennessee has passed a new bill. And I really want to find out what you guys think. I have a couple of theories about this new bill that they passed, but I really want to find out um, your input on it too. I'm going to turn this light off and see what happens. My mom says, when I watch your videos for the first few minutes, you are fooling with the lights and doing this and that. I said, Mom, chill. My people my people that watch, my friends, they know I fool with the camera and stuff like that. Moms are pretty critical all the time, so um that's better for me. So okay, I'm gonna jump right into it. So and this is, if you're in Tennessee, um this information is critical, and if you're not in Tennessee, it's still critical because these states, when they pass legislation like this, a lot of times the other states will follow. They'll set the precedent for other states to do what Tennessee is now doing. So you might see this later on, or right now. Hi, greetings, classified. How are you? Thanks for joining. So, like I said, just let me know what you guys Think. So, on June 30th, 2021, Governor Bill Lee, according to the Tennessee Health and Human Services website, passed the Tennessee Opportunity Act. So, that was established, which will offer a pathway to self sufficiency for TANF recipients. It will provide for an investment in community partnerships through both the spend down of TANF reserves and plan for recurring dollars. It's supposed to strengthen the protections against fraud, waste, and abuse. I found that interesting because while I was doing this research, I saw that there was zero fraud in cash benefits in like maybe 10 for food stamps. So I don't know why they included that uh, protection against fraud, waste, and abuse. Uh, that was I guess they always have to throw that in even if there is no fraud. I listened to the governor and the others speak about this new bill, and it sounded a lot like government officials introducing the welfare program before 1996. If you go back and listen to each president, or each legislator, if they were introducing something to the welfare plan that was already in place, it sounded like that. But of course, I put the link in the description. Um, so before Clinton passed what we have now, that's what it kind of sounded like. So mainly that the self-sufficiency, that was the key in what they're doing in Tennessee, and that the government was and is not the solution for people living in poverty. So that's a Republican state. Rand, the governor, is Republican. So they Republicans always focus on less government, smaller government. They don't want the welfare program to grow. So they specify that over and over again. So specifically, the HHS website writes that the act will offer an educational opportunity pilot program. This will create a 2-year pilot program offering cash TANF benefits for people pursuing a degree, and they are increasing the TANF benefit from $277 a month to $387 a month. That's good. That's good, classified. I'm glad you're doing well. So that's an increase in the benefit, which I thought is strange too, because the key when they passed the bill in 1996 was to get people off of welfare, right? Become self-sufficient. You had time limits. You couldn't come back on. So this is like the total opposite. They're kind of asking people to come on welfare or come on TANF. And they're even increasing the benefit. So the bill doesn't mention increasing or decreasing the 5-year or 60-month time limit imposed on people receiving TANF benefits. So that's not even in this bill. The bill sounds completely different than what was going on when they were kicking people off of welfare and putting fathers who couldn't afford to be on child support on child support. So I'm researching the requirements for approval into the program, specifically if the recipient must cooperate with child support enforcement to be eligible, and I haven't found any definitive answer. So I'm gonna keep looking because that is going to be crucial to this program going forward, and if any other programs introduce a bill like this. So on one hand, there's nothing written there's nothing written in the bill that says that child support cooperation is mandatory, like it was in the Personal Responsibility Act. However, there's wording that could be considered as a requirement. The Tennessee General Assembly website lists the following establishment eligibility requirements for TANF benefits, starting with the federal law establishes the federal eligibility requirements, which include meeting income standards, engaging work activities unless exempt, compliance with the personal responsibility plan, and being otherwise eligible under federal and state laws. So if they're going by those requirements, then child support cooperation falls under that criteria. Based on the list, one would suppose the child support cooperation is required. But we'll have to see when people start signing up for this program. I'll definitely keep you posted on that because it might be a trap. They might just be doing that to increase their rolls on child support because a lot of the kids are adults now. So their numbers of TANF child support cases are dropping. The state also seems to be the first to actually use the TANF rainy day funds for the people that the tax money collected from the tax money that's collected is supposed to help. And these people are the less fortunate, people who are living in poverty, and children that are hungry. So the CBPP, I think the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, they were the first ones to really put it out there that I saw and show the TANF grant, which is $16.5 billion per year per jurisdiction. These states receive, and they don't necessarily have to spend it on low-income families. They don't have to spend it on a TANF program. They can keep this money and save it, or they can spend it on the family, or they can spend it on pretty much whatever they want to in the budget. In the state. So I want to say, exposed it and showed just how much money these states were holding on to. And Tennessee was at the top of the list. So they're the first state that I've seen, and I think anybody has seen, that actually has passed a bill to use that money that has been accumulated. So the HHS, the Tennessee HHS, shares that the Opportunity Act outlines how the TANF reserve investments, the money will be invested in the community. The CBPP does an excellent job sharing how much money states are paid by the feds and then hoard and not use to help citizens. According to the CBPP under TANF, the federal government gives states and DC a share of a fixed block grant totaling 6.5 billion per year. States can use the money for families, spend it on non-family related issues and budgets they can use it to their discretion. And CBPP shared that in 2020, states spent $3 billion or 10% of their federal and state TANF funds on work, education, and training activities. So out of 16.5 billion, they only spent 3 billion. That's crazy. So you have parents that have to sign up for or sue the other parent for child support in order to get the TANF benefit, which up until probably for as long as, for however long, at least for the last 25, 30 years, has been $277. And I'm sure that's for a parent, the head of household, and 2 children. $277. You sign basically your life away. You sign away any rights to future child support payments. And so they get all this money and they spend absolutely nothing, less than 10%, on anything that can help you become self-sufficient. Any programs that are designated to be a help to low-income parents, they don't spend. Over the years, Tennessee decreased more and more of their spending. Beginning in 2001, they provided $123 million on selected activities, and then they dropped that to just $24 million in 2020. With that little spending that they did in 2020, the state had accumulated a massive, this is why they were number one on this list. They had accumulated $790 million from the federal government and TANF money that's supposed to help the low income people that they are voted in to help. They had hoarded nearly $1 billion in Tennessee. Can y'all believe that shit? It's just so much money. So now they are passing this bill so they can look, I guess, like they're doing something. But what could you possibly be doing that you deserve a pat on the back? And they kissing each other's ass over this. Like if you watch watch the video that I posted, they are, oh, we're doing this. Oh, governor, oh, you're doing such a great job. Oh, we really want to help people and all this bullshit. And y'all accumulated almost $1 billion that y'all could have all these years helped people. But what they did, well, let me start on this. Let me say this part first. According to News Channel 5, hi Marcos, the act will invest $180 million in providing comprehensive support to families as they move from crisis to career pathways. So we had to wait until families were in crisis for them to do something with this nearly $1 billion. And this is after COVID. They are providing $50 million to Families First. Families First is what they call their TANF program. $50 million in Family First community grants to smaller nonprofits across the state. 50 million, I mean, what's that when you have $1 billion? Establish a 21-member TANF advisory board to provide input on the direction of the TANF program and select partners to conduct program research. I know that they have people that work there that can do some damn research, and they got all that money. Implement a 191 million TANF reserve cap so that the beginning of federal fiscal year 2022 unspent funds beyond the cap will be used to fund Families First. that sounds cool. So they won't accumulate, they won't hoard this money anymore. That sounds more like they got busted. And so now they have that reserve money. So anything else, they'll go ahead and spend it on where it's supposed to be spent, which is helping low income families and the poor children living in poverty, and helping like it was supposed to be used instead of just sitting and stacking it. And they want to protect the integrity of the TANF family by increasing civil penalties. There they go with those penalties. They need to be penalized for individuals who try to secure benefits with a false identity. They love trying to make people criminals when they are fucking criminals. Excuse my language, but how do you keep all that money to yourselves for so many years, pass a bill, kiss your own ass, and then try to make the people that are supposed to receive the money like they're going to steal it? They're criminalizing the people that the money, they should be able to go down there and sign up for the benefits. That's what people, that's what Tennessee citizens pay their taxes for. That's what Texas citizens, that's what we pay our taxes for. But when we pay our taxes for these programs, TANF, to help with low income people and the safety net programs, they're not telling us that they're just sending it to these states and they're just hoarding it to the tune of $1 billion, but we still have to pay our taxes. They're not decreasing our taxes while the states are hoarding the money, because then I would have a say with, I don't want my money just going and sitting. I'll keep it my own. Maybe I'll start my own pantry or my own little nonprofit to help people that's in need. That's just, So everything in that bill sounds like something that they could have done without all the theatrics and all the, the press conference and passing a bill and all that was going on. They could have saved all that. Because we know they weren't spending any money. They had the largest reserve of this money out of the country. And to make matters worse, let me tell you how they spent their money in 2020. They spent less than 15% on basic assistance for their low-income citizens in 2020. The work activities and support services, they spent $1 million or 0.5%. Tax credits, y'all know everybody's been talking about tax credits. It's been in the news. Child tax credits was one of the reasons that the Build Back Better bill didn't pass. So tax credits, a big deal. Tennessee, zero. Not a penny on child welfare, just to take care of the children. Zero. And they want Tennessee and the rest of the country to believe that they are passing this bill, or they passed this bill for the benefit of their citizens. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. I'm going to get to the comments as soon as I get finished with this, because if I go back and forth, y'all know I get off script and I might end up talking about the moon. I'll be talking about something that has absolutely nothing to do with this. So, like I said, they didn't need a bill to establish a 21-member TANF advisory board, which I'm sure is costing money, because they have, according to their website, the Department of Human Services is one of the largest employers in the state. So why would you need to go and take money to do anything like that? You have money to the tune of $1 billion. The 191 million reserve cap is actually, that could be a good implementation if that's going to really benefit the families. But it sounds to me like they're really trying to criminalize people for getting the benefit before they even get it. So then we have to look at what are they What are they going to require of these recipients that will qualify as criminal? Or is it something that they can or can't do that will make them ineligible? So that's another thing. So all in all, the real decider is whether this law is really a modernization. That's what they call it, a modernization of the TANF program, which, if you guys are noticing, about maybe 2 years ago, the child support system started using that word modernization. New York, I made a video about New York. They started with the modernization of child support. So when you look at how they are talking, they're trying to streamline child support, involve the family. So this is, I guess, their way of maybe taking the mandatory cooperation part of the child support program and welfare out. And that's why I want to keep an eye on this Tennessee law, because like I said, it wasn't written specifically to say you have to cooperate in order to participate in this program. So maybe this will be their start to modernization by taking that out, including the father, not criminalizing the father. So that's why I said I don't know exactly what's going on here, because really I don't see why they even had to pass a law. The law can just be a recruitment. This can be a recruitment tactic to get more people to sign up for TANF and therefore sue for child support. More children are aging out of the system because they are reaching the age of majority. So the government needs new cases. I actually wrote an article about this and I put it in the description. So like my daughter, for instance, she's 23 now. So all these children, she was born in 99, and that's about the time, 96 is when they implemented the welfare reform, child support requirement. So these children are aging out. So those TANF cases are being closed, and so they need more, they need more victims. So this might be just a way to get people to sign up for TANF and then having to sue for child support. So getting more cases. So, and to show that the child support agencies are trying to get more people, they've taken to posting on social media advertisements for child support. They run ads on the radio platforms like what's the one, Pandora and iHeartRadio. They send text messages to potential clients. So you tell me what agency or company advertises something that's mandatory. It usually doesn't happen that they have to advertise to recruit people to use their services when you are mandated to use it. Like you have to use it. So they don't have to advertise, but they're advertising. That's another example of this child support system being voluntary, because if you really had to use it, they would not need to spend money advertising trying to get clients. They wouldn't. Why would they need to do that? So the government has been talking a lot about modernizing. Okay, I said that. And again, this is the first time I've seen it in a bill. Hopefully this will be the beginning to the ending of the child support system as we know it. The one that penalizes low-income parents who have committed no crime but are treated worse than criminals, the worst criminals walking the earth. The links again are in the description. So if you want to go back and look, and I urge you to go back and look just to see what Tennessee is talking about, especially if you're in Tennessee, because if they're not mandating uh, child support cooperation, and you can go back to school and everything like that, and it could be a great program. But what you don't want to do is sign over your rights to any child support or even sue your other parent for child support if it's not necessary. If they're helping any way that they can, because we know that child support is not always money. Sometimes it's, keeping the kids while you go to work and then he goes to work or she goes to work. So y'all have an arrangement. Sometimes, she or he is buying the diapers or buying all the groceries while you're doing, like, there's different ways to support our children. So before you let them talk you in to suing the other parent for child support in order to receive, what they raise it in Tennessee, $387 a month, consider other options before you sign your rights over, because it's easy to sign your rights over, but it's very hard to get them back. They make you fight to get those rights back. And if there's arrears, because they're going to go back to the age of the child when the child was born. So if you have a 10-year-old, they're going to go back 10 years and charge 387 times 12 times 10. And then they're going to put him on the hook. And then if they don't pay, Tennessee does pay some child support to the family receiving TANF benefits, but not all. So you'll have to check on that. But if you're in a state that they don't pass through any child support to a parent receiving TANF, then for however long, especially if there's arrears, you won't get any child support. So these are things that you have to consider before, like, is that money worth it? And then you have time limits. So even though they sweeten the pot, so to speak, you have to see how sweet that pot is, because a lot of times they are manipulating their words, and the system is going to benefit them more than it's going to benefit you. So let me see. So let me look at the comments really quick. The 9 most terrifying. I'm here to help. That's true. Can you give me some advice on spouse trying to get alimony and child support? I have, Shaquan, I have a video. I'm not sure about alimony, but I do know about child support. So you have to look at, I just wrote an article about disabled vets and child support. That money, as long as there's no retirement calculated or included in your disability, they should not touch that money. That money is exempt. They have to go through the VA to get that money. I'm currently paying. Yeah, I think Tennessee. I know they will for TANF, but let me check up here for food stamps, because you know what? I have found over the years. Oops, sorry guys. I don't know if y'all can see this. I have found over the years that states will lie and have parents sign over their rights for benefits that are not supposed to be included in that mandate. And I'm looking at my book, and Khalid, from what I see, Tennessee is not on my list for food stamps, to sign your rights over for food stamps. So, but Medicaid and TANF, that's every state. So if she just received food stamps and not TANF, then that would be illegal. But if she received TANF, that was mandatory. Okay. So I thank y'all for joining me. And this stuff is with the modernization and language that they're using, it might be a gateway into child support reform. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I don't know, but the language is a lot different than when I started fighting for child support reform. The modernization was not a word that was ever mentioned in anything that I read. Um, the video I did last week with the debtor prison and the appeal in Colorado, that was wow, like that was huge. Like they weren't even talking about ability to pay the child support. They weren't talking about safeguards being offered, even though in 2011 that was the law. They were just still locking people up, which they still are, but it's changing. The atmosphere, the tide, whatever, is changing because people are fighting back. And I made a post today. They're used to people being on keyboards and us just typing up our complaints and complaining online. They're not used to us fighting back and filing complaints, getting in the streets and marching and protesting and things like that. That's what they don't like. So and we've done that. We've been in the street. We've protested. I've joined a march in DC. We've held town hall. Like we've done that. But what we did was we raised awareness, and not just myself. There's a lot of people, and there's even more now. So at this point, they know they have to do something, or it's going to be civil unrest. It's to that point. So I'm glad that people are standing up and fighting back and advocating for themselves. Let me see. My case is in Memphis, Tennessee. I would recall file to get that the bill is I would fight to get that case closed, terminated, based on fraud or just based on non-service. They cannot. That's another thing. They cannot make you pay child support on a case that you were never served on. That you can't do that. That's a violation of your right to due process. They can't, like, they have to close that case. Just get a copy of your entire case file. Sometimes you can find that online, but you want to get the paperwork and look for the original summons. Yeah, Fowler had that case dismissed. Go all the way to DC. Let me put the link. Let me get the link real quick for you. And file to have that case closed. Anybody else, if you weren't served, file to get that case closed. If there's any fraud in your case, file to get the case closed. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm looking for this link. I got so much shit on my computer. Where are you? Okay, here we go. Let me see if this is it. That is not it. I'm sorry, guys. I think. Let's see if this is. No. I might have to, no, I want to put it here so everybody can have it. Let me see. I do not see it. Shoot. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look it up. Just give me 1 second. Dang, that took forever. I'm so sorry, guys. I usually had this stuff saved and all that kind of stuff. I could not find it. Here's the link. And let me give y'all the one to the regional office because I hope it doesn't take me that long to find this one. So the process that you want to take, not you, Rico, you want to go straight to the top. Or you can do it at the same time because what they'll try to do or is send you back to the local agency. So this is the process you guys want to take. The first one is for the federal agency. The second link is for the regional office. Okay, this is how y'all want to file y'all complaint. First, you want to file a complaint with the local agency. If you can't do that for whatever reason, bypass them because you know they'll give you the runaround, won't answer your email, won't whatever they do, just forget them. Then you want to go to the regional office and file your complaint. That step you want to do for sure because when you get to the federal office, if you don't file a complaint with the regional office, the federal office is just going to send you back and say, did you file a complaint with your, with the first step, the local and the regional? If you say no, they're not going to even talk to you. But if you've already done that process, they can send you back because they can do whatever they want. But if you have a violation like RICO and you weren't served, then they're going to talk to you. But if you have a complaint like the caseworker isn't, I don't know, isn't answering your emails, then if you go straight to the feds, they're going to kick you back. They're not even going to talk to you, which I don't think is right. I think that they should take every complaint because they're the overseer. So you should be able to file. I mean, everybody has a boss, so you should be able to file your complaint with the boss. So pretty much with the child support agency, everybody like, well, no, you don't file a complaint here. No, not here. No, not here. Then you like, who the hell do I file it with? So everybody's like telling you to go somewhere else. And when you go somewhere else, they're telling you to go somewhere else. And that's what they've been doing for damn near 30 years. And that's how people have been getting messed around for this long. And that's where I say social media is a good thing because now people are, communicating and actually putting this stuff out and showing like what they're really doing, and they can't hide. They can't run and hide anymore and not get caught in what they're doing. Even judges are getting busted. Oh, you can buy my book, The Child Support Hustle, on my website, thechild-support-hustle.com. Facebook, you can get it. And I think you can buy it on Instagram. I'm not sure. But definitely on my website, thechild-support-hustle.com. And I also have articles there that I've written over the years. I've just started a reference page that has some different organizations that can offer, since I don't do anything, I don't have any information on shared parenting and things like that. I have the NPO, the National Parents Organization. Their website is on there. They have excellent information, and they've been instrumental in helping to pass, I know for a fact, the bill in Kentucky, the shared parenting bill. um, I think maybe one more, I'm not sure, but they have some great information. I have the race and family link on there, and a few others. So if you just want to have some more information, that's on there. So yeah, check out my website. It was after I built that website, after my first website was infiltrated, and they destroyed my website. So I was able to save some of my articles, but everything else was, they said, the one person that I had to look at it, I can't remember the word, but they did a number on my website. What if they revoked my license? I don't know about that, Jimmy. I'm sorry you got shot, and I'm glad that you are alive, but I don't know. I I mean, they're not going to care. They don't care. If you're asking, can you sue them, or if you can hold one of them responsible, I would say, I mean, nothing. It doesn't hurt to try, but if you're thinking that you can go in there and they're going to have sympathy, I don't see that happening. This child support system is one of the coldest, besides the judicial system, um, with having to do with locking people up, locking black people up. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's a cold. This is a cold system. They don't care, like, but it's all a money grab. It's all a money grab. So I'm not sure about that, Jimmy. And I thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope this information was helpful. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. I like being on YouTube. I like the having you guys on and chatting and putting the information out. I have to say this every now and then. I don't work with individual cases anymore. I know that you guys email me and ask me if I can help, or you send me messages online if I can help you individually. I don't work on cases anymore. I can try to point you in the right direction. It's nothing personal. I just don't do it anymore. I've done it for many years, and I just I I just don't do them anymore. So it's like I said, it's nothing personal. I wish you the best, and hopefully the information that I have put out there will help you get the results that you need and the justice that you deserve. Hi, Steph. Okay, good. I hope it's some good information. What state are you in? If you don't mind me asking. You see, they made sure that Build Back Better bill, Build Back Better bill. They didn't let that pass. Oh, okay. I was just talking about Tennessee, but I think they're going to be doing that with Tennessee passed. I think they're going to be doing something like that across the country, because they got busted with all that damn TANF money that they weren't spending on the families, especially the children, and they just had that child tax credit, that money they just stopped. So they got all that money. They got to spend it. They can't just keep it. And if y'all go and look at the link And y'all go look up y'all state. You can see how much your state has been hoarding. And ask your officials, like, why are y'all keeping all that money for a rainy day? I think it's a rainy day when people can't go to work because there's a pandemic. Whether you believe in COVID, whether you don't believe in COVID, what's real is, things are disrupted. So if they're waiting on a rainy day or something to happen to use that money, this is the rainy day, you know? So I guess Tennessee got busted having almost $1 billion and said, I guess we better spend some of this damn money. I think that's really what happened. So, okay, guys, thank you so much again for joining me. Um, I will, of course, keep researching everything that I see. I will bring to you guys. I hope that you can use the information in your own fight, your own battles, whatever battle that you're going through. If it's not child support, if it's something else, fight the power, keep fighting. You're worth it, and your situation, and you matter. So don't stop. I know it's exhausting sometimes to keep fighting, but keep doing it so that um, you get the outcome that you deserve. It's easier to sometimes just stop, but don't. Just don't. Let's see if I have any more questions or comments. I don't. And I was going to say one more thing, but I forgot what it was. All right, you guys. Well, thank you very much. Y'all have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great night. Stay warm and keep fighting.